Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
It's only ABC.
Let's face it, Hamas is based in Qatar. Okay? How do they explain that away?
But what do you think of accepting this gift?
I really don't like this. I gotta say, it makes me really uncomfortable. And it's not just that, this is not a gift. This is Qatar, a state sponsor of terror.
On the jet, I do think the jet probably sends the wrong signal to people, and I don't like the look or appearance of it.
When Trump's antics has me agreeing with Ted Cruz, he's up to some wild shite.
Questions about the emoluments clause and whether it's going to go to his library, whether he's going to get to fly on it afterwards. What are your thoughts about all this?
Well, listen, I'm not a fan of Qatar. I think they have a really disturbing pattern of funding theocratic lunatics who want to murder us. I think the plane poses significant espionage and surveillance problems. So we'll see how this issue plays out. But I certainly have concerns.
Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. There was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto: when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, I insist on putting it. Then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully, sir, as a businessman, some people may look at this and say, have you ever been given a gift worth millions of dollars and then not receive it?
It's not a gift to me. It's a gift to the Department of Defense. And you should know better, because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster.
Well, Donald Trump can be seen saluting Saudi Arabian military officials, because that's not disrespecting the U.S. military, right? He can be heard calling it stupid to turn down a $400 million jet from Qatar to serve as Air Force One.
Turn to the controversy now over President Trump appearing to accept a luxury jumbo jet from the government of Qatar. The plan is for it to serve as Air Force One, then for Trump's personal use. It's raising serious legal and national security questions.
Trump administration is poised to accept that luxury jumbo jet, which has a value estimated at $400 million, as a gift from the government of Qatar. Sources familiar with the proposal say that the aircraft would be used by President Trump as a new Air Force One and then transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation shortly before he leaves office.
Now, while some Republicans have joined Democrats in expressing concern at such a move, I want to kick things off by hearing from, Donald J. Trump himself on the country of Qatar and his views in the past.
Unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level. And in the wake of that conference, nations came together and spoke to me about confronting Qatar over its behavior. So we had a decision to make. Do we take the easy road, or do we finally take a hard but necessary action? We have to stop the funding of terrorism. I decided, along with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, our great generals and military people, the time had come to call on Qatar to end its funding. They have to end that funding. And its extremist ideology in terms of funding.
I wonder what changed. Anyway, as a result of the Qatari royal family giving the president a luxury Boeing 747-8, which has been dubbed as a, quote, palace in the sky, it has led some Republicans to express discomfort about the matter, many of whom once prized Trump cultists. There was, of course, Senator Rand Paul, who told reporters, quote, I don't think it looks good or smells good. Well, it has to do with Trump, so it can't smell good.
On the jet, I do think the jet probably sends the wrong signal to people, and I don't like the look or appearance of it, so I would hope that he would reject it. The Constitution specifically says you can't take gifts from foreign leaders. It doesn't say you can't take gifts unless they're going to be for, official use. We also do a lot of business with Qatar,
And so we sell them a lot of arms. Essentially, the United States is the biggest arms merchant in the world. We sell arms everywhere. And they're lucrative deals for the arms manufacturers. But I have actually tried to hold up arms sales before to both Saudi Arabia and to Qatar because of their human rights records. So I don't know that if we can have an honest appraisal of their human rights record and decisions on arms sales if we're receiving $400 million gifts from a country. So I'm not for it.
And he went on Fox News later to talk about the constitutional impropriety here. But this was said to Jesse Waters, who undoubtedly was just thinking about the potential playlist on said Palace in the Sky when he's invited for an exclusive.
Different than a gimme putt. And the Constitution in Article 2 talks about the president can't take emoluments or gifts from foreign leaders. And so there is a provision in the Constitution that says you can't do this. And so the question is, can you do it if it's only for official purposes? If it came to someone in Congress, they can vote and the ethics committee can look at it. With his, there will have to be some kind of adjudication. This has never been done. And it's not like a ride on the plane. We're talking about the entire $400 million plane. I think it's not worth the appearance of impropriety, whether it's improper or not. I don't think it's worth it. The other problem with Qatar is, I've spent time trying not to sell weapons to Qatar because they have human rights violations of their people. Many of their people are prevented from participating in the government, and some of the minority religious folks in Qatar are treated poorly. And so I really haven't been a big fan, and I wonder if our ability to judge their human rights record would be clouded by the fact of this large gift. So I wouldn't.
And then there was Cancun Cruzs, a man so spineless that he openly cozied up to the president after he repeatedly insulted him, claimed his dad was a serial killer, and referred to his wife as ugly. And even he had some concerns on the matter.
Questions about the emoluments clause and whether it's going to go to his library, whether he's going to get to fly on it afterwards. What are your thoughts about all this?
Well, listen, I'm not a fan of Qatar. I think they have a really disturbing pattern of funding theocratic lunatics who want to murder us, funding Hamas and Hezbollah. And that's a real problem. I also think that the plane poses significant espionage and surveillance problems. So we'll see how this issue plays out. But I certainly have concerns.
Air Force One as the Oval Office in the air. We would not let a foreign contractor build the Oval Office, especially one that's funded by the government of that foreign country. More importantly, everyone needs to understand this is just a plane. And Donald Trump put the words Air Force One on top of it. And we know this because this plane, as we understand the specifications, doesn't have encrypted comms, a missile defense, EMP shielding, a medical suite, and most importantly, mid-air refueling. And why do we do mid-air refueling? Because the plane is for continuity of operations and continuity of government if something bad happens. This is just a plane. It was a gift. And they're just saying it's Air Force One because that's what Donald Trump does. But Air Force One is more than just a plane. It is to protect the constitutional order and the president of the United States, regardless of who it is.
But it wasn't just Republican representatives, right? Fox News hosts also chimed in to help broaden the perspective on the news channel.
Look, let's face it, Hamas is based in Qatar. Okay. How do they explain that away? Hamas is based in Qatar. And what about this plane? What are your thoughts on this jumbo jet that the Qataris want to give President Trump?
Well, I'm still seeking to get more clarity and information on it. I think obviously from the president's standpoint, you know, he wants to be able to have a plane that meets the needs of him and his administration. But obviously, we don't want to be straight up accepting any type of gift from any foreign government. Certainly not, one that can be viewed in a way that obviously has been presented here. So a lot more information that I think needs to come out on it.
And by perspective, I mean often opinions that make North Korea look like the bastion of free thought.
Dems, we know that they have no voice, no leader, and no message. And I am delighted that President Trump, who comes from that very high billionaire class, is thinking about those who are below him. So that makes him a great leader. And look, he just proved, not only with Big Pharma, but with the Brits and with the Chinese, that he can really negotiate when no one else can. So congratulations.
He sure has. Congresswoman Maria Salas.
And he's also talking about, he doesn't like Trump talking about expanding. The United States has always expanded, either by force or we buy things.
bought Alaska from the Russians. We bought half the country from the French. We beat the Mexicans, the Native Americans, the Spanish, the British. That's how we do things here. It's manifest destiny. And if we find out that we need Greenland as a matter of national survival, of course, any president, Republican or Democrat, should get it by any means necessary. And it looks like right now we have our intelligence agencies in Greenland on the ground right now, ensuring that they vote for independence.
That's right.
And the reality is the hypocrisy is rife with this one. I mean, just do me a favor, take a second. Imagine Obama accepted this plane. Can you even comprehend the endless hours of fear-mongering on Fox News, but somehow when it's Trump, it's okay?
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.